Hi, I'm LifeCoachLANDRY, and the topic is pros and cons of online dating, when and how to date online. I think online dating is probably making up at least 60% of dating now, and I think people are just kind of torn between, do I jump in the online world? Should I meet someone in person? What should I do? And I tell people, look, you don't got to sit there and be like, oh my God, what do I do? There's lots of options in life, and don't make online dating not one of them. There's tons of people you can access to. However, online dating does show that it's harder for women to meet men because they shows that there are less quality of men online for women to shop from. The opposite is true for men. There are much more women of quality, and there's a definition to that, that men look for. So in other words, there's going to be a better selection of women for men and less of a selection of men. There's going to be more men per se, but there's going to be less quality men per se, according to women. And we're going off women's satisfaction surveys show that they're just unsatisfied with most of the men that they end up meeting online. And not ones that they had relationships with, just ones they meet that just don't turn out to be what they thought they were going to be like in the first one or two dates, okay? In other words, women say that quality men online are rare gems. They call them unicorns. Whereas men bump into women all the time, and they're very satisfied with who they meet, but men's main complaint is that typically the women don't call them back. So I'm going to give you a little advice here. Number one, I want to talk about online dating in general, the access, the pros and the cons, okay? Online dating provides individuals with tons people to filter through, especially true for individuals. If you have a certain lifestyle, weight, athleticism, look you're looking for, eye color, you can look at all that stuff. It's like engineering your date, right? The con is that it can become confusing and overwhelming. I myself have used online dating before. I actually liked it a lot, but you can be inundated with emails to the point where you're like, I can't keep up. You get the people who are angry because you haven't responded. And it also can turn you into being a little too picky. You can start going, now that I have so many options to pick from, you can miss some really good people. I went on a date with somebody that I actually ended up dating. I wasn't looking for someone particular that some of the attributes that they have, but I decided to give a chance anyways and ended up turning into a really good relationship. So, you can get overly picky and you got to be careful there. Number two category I want to talk about is matching. Okay. Many online dating sites offer various types of personalities and, testing and towards partners they might be compatible with. And that's a pro. But the con to that is that the testing is not always accurate to everybody's personality. So it may send you in a direction that really doesn't work for you. So you got to be careful with like the eHarmonies and places like that, because it can categorize you into looking for only certain kind of people, to where if you would have thought about that ahead of time, you may not have made some of the same choices here in the test. Okay. Number three, communication. The pros. There's, vast amount of ways. Email, video chat, texting. It's safe. It's convenient. It doesn't offer a lot of risk or commitment. That's the pro of that, right? The con to that is that it can keep you from having an in-person relationship. Texting should be for meeting and greeting and setting up phone calls and setting up dates in person only. Don't turn them into your conversation piece, right? I'm much more of a texter when I talk to someone. I want to know when we're getting together and what we're doing. Or I want to get on the phone and I want to talk to them. Having an intimate relationship like that, okay? It can turn out to be that it can kill a line of affection if you lean on the convenience too much. Also makes you not as steady in talking to people as you should be. In other words, I'm busy right now, I'm going to text them real quick, I'm going to get back to doing something else. That's not how you conversate with people. When you text somebody anything, you're opening a conversation. You should finish the conversation all the way with somebody before you get off the conversation. If you send someone something real quick, they respond and then you're not there, that's rude, right? And most people are going to find that not convenient. They're going to find that a turnoff. You can be the best looking woman in the world. You can be the most handsome man in the world. But if you're in and out of conversations with people based on what you're doing and not the fact that you're talking to them, don't expect them to stick around. Okay. Another category I'll talk about is using it kind of to your advantage. Clearly, the features of online dating have costs and benefits. So how do you make the most of your dating experience when it comes to that kind of thing? Having choice is wonderful. I think the access part, but keep them manageable, right? So if you want actual face-to-face dating, so to speak, don't get stuck in endlessly browsing, looking through, even though you're going on a date. Pick 1 to 3 people and go on dates with them before you start going browsing for the next 2 or 3 dates, okay? You don't want to set too much up, and you don't want to have too many options at one time. It will dilute the potential one out of them who's the best candidate. Remember, your whole point is to find somebody, not to date, right? So you don't want to set yourself up to continuously date. You want to get on, find what you're looking for. Hopefully it turns into something really magical, something you've really been looking for. Some of us are fortunate to have that. Some aren't. But the matching is the online test. Like I said, they may not be able to tell who your perfect match is. So be careful when you filter people and what you're looking for. And go on dates with people and think, of things you may not normally do that you might want to branch out just a little bit and might be just enough for you to find someone who you've actually, maybe want to consider. So, but the number one is, and I always get to this on my videos, and I can't stress this enough, is communication. Okay. Online dating, meeting somebody out at the grocery store, bumping baskets and, whatever. But online communication is designed to make an initial connection, not continuous connection, an initial setup connection. Okay. So keep the conversation focused on finding out the basics of somebody. Read their profile. Actually read their profile. Men specifically, don't just look at a woman and go, she's hot, I want to bang her. Look at their profile, read it, because you may read through it. And she may say, if you're just here for a one-night stand, if you're just here for that, I don't want to talk to you. The number one thing women really like is intelligence with humor combined. That is what women are attracted to. Out of all the dating I've ever done in my life, and out of all the studies I've ever read, women say if a man is intellectually stimulating for them, they want to be with him, right? So don't be the guy that's boring and dull. Don't be the woman who just laughs at jokes but doesn't say anything. Stimulate the conversation. Bring up intelligent things. Talk about what you're looking for in your future. Talk about what you want so you can actually, do something on your date. The idea is not just to have a good time, but enjoy the experience, go with the flow, don't force things. But as things come to your mind that you want to know about them, talk about them, right? So my conclusion overall is it's important to remember that online dating is best used as a resource to meet individuals, right? And the idea is to get to a face-to-face date. And keeping that goal in mind will prevent you getting stuck on drawbacks and the limitations of online dating. I think, if I had to make a call, I would say meet someone online instead of a bar. Stay away from bars. Bars tend to make the worst relationships. In fact, studies show that most people met in a bar do not actually last. And that's a fact. Doesn't mean there's not exceptions to the rule, but there's something about bars and the nature in which people are who attend bars that seem to have broken relationships. I can always if you guys want to see a video on that, I can go into that deeper, but stay away from bar dating. If you're overwhelmed with access to choices or whatnot, pick a site, do it for 3 or 4 months, and then move on to the next one just so you can get a feel for it. Don't pay for the whole package up front if you feel that way. If you don't know what to do with a potential match, send them a quick communication. If you get frustrated talking online, suggest meeting in person. I myself, when I was dating online a while back, the way I went about it is, and my advice to anybody is to get online, meet somebody, set up a phone call, about 30 minutes worth, see if there's anything there worth a flip, and if there is, then set up the date, okay? The idea is an in-person communication, okay? Keyword is communicate. Number one reasons why relationships fail, don't get off the right ground. Even long-term relationships ultimately fail because of communication and misunderstanding. Don't let your online date interest, who you might actually have some connection with, fall apart because you can't communicate. Utilize all the good things of online dating, but realize online dating isn't the only avenue you can meet someone, but just know the pros and cons. There's a lot of scammers out there. And remember, as a woman, you're going to be inundated with men. However, according to women, there are very few men on there of substance. So if there is very few men, that means that those men are probably getting tons of attention from other women who know they are a real potential, which means you're going to have to really lock down if you want that man. And as for men, if you meet a woman who's giving you a sincere effort, you need to take her up on that before she moves her interest to someone else. Okay. So I hope this information helps you. And if you want to know more about online dating, if you think I should do another episode on it, I can go in detail on, really schematics on data, and I can bring up stuff on the screen for you guys and let you know more about it. But I hope this information was helpful. You can contact me in the link below. And as usual, I will talk to you next time.